A couple of weeks ago, we counted down Electronic Gaming Monthly's best and worst Gran Turismo games. That was a lot of fun, but what about the arcade-style racing games? Who wants realism when you can smash another car off the road at 200 miles an hour? For me, the best series for that has always been Burnout, which hasn't seen a proper new installment for 15 years. That made me wonder what Electronic Gaming Monthly thought of this takedown-heavy franchise back in the day. Which Burnout was their favorite? Now, in case you're wondering, EGM reviewed a total of 9 Burnout games between 2001 and 2008. That covers everything from the original game right up to the final entry in the racing series, Burnout Paradise. Just about the only games they didn't cover was Burnout Dominator on PSP and that truly terrible Nintendo DS version of Burnout Legends. But even without those spin-offs, I think we're working with a pretty great list here. What we're going to do today is count down the best and worst Burnout games using Electronic Gaming Monthly's own words and scores. There's no editorializing here, we're just going to focus on what the critics said back when these games first came out. So go and make sure your car insurance is up to date, because I have a hunch that you're going to be making a claim or two after EGM ranks the Burnout series. Alright, we're kicking things off at number 9 with Burnout on PlayStation 2. Burnout is every frustrated commuter's dream. A game that lets you haul ass down congested highways with absolutely no regard for life or limb. What sets Burnout apart from other racing games is that it actually rewards you for reckless driving. Every near miss and high-speed power slide fills an aggressive driving meter in the corner of the screen. Fill it completely, and you can boost your top speed from whoa to holy shit! Burnout's biggest shortcoming, however, is its paltry number of play modes. The game would have greatly benefited from a tag mode, police pursuit, or some other options. Number 8, Burnout 2 Point of Impact on GameCube. This is the most fun I've had racing since Nintendo 64's San Francisco Rush days. But Burnout's got that series beat with its excellent speed boosting. The single-player missions are solid, and they're complemented by intense, addictive multiplayer modes. Even after playing for a week, I didn't want to quit. I won't be putting this down until F-Zero shows up. Number 7, Burnout on GameCube and Xbox. So there I am, racing down the wrong side of an 8-lane highway, splitting the oncoming traffic with surgical precision. The power-enhancing adrenaline meter creeps higher with every near miss until it's finally full. I hold down the button for a boost that propels me to hair-raising speeds as the traffic turns to a blur. Holy cow, I can honestly say that Burnout provides the most intense street racing rush that I've ever experienced in a video game. But for those who like variety, this one will leave you hungry for stuff like licensed cars, more tracks, and most importantly, more modes. While I'm at it, how about throwing in a cop or two to chase you? Or maybe some creative shortcuts to spice up the courses. Burnout is a fantastic one-trick pony, but because it doesn't have a large variety of modes, you'll only return for the adrenaline rush. Number 6, Burnout 2 Point of Impact on the Xbox. Shame on me for waiting so long to try out this glorious racer. Burnout 2's kamikaze driving had me hooked. I couldn't stop until I unlocked every vehicle and course in the single-player campaign. Multiplayer is a blast, and the crash mini-games are super addictive. The Xbox Live score ranking feature is barely worth mentioning, though. Hopefully, a sequel will offer real online action and licensed cars. Number 5, Burnout 2 Point of Impact on the PlayStation 2. The more I play Burnout 2, the more I appreciate all the little touches that make this one of the best arcade racers ever. Not only do you have plenty of gameplay incentives to drive like a maniac through rush hour traffic, the game also rewards you with beautiful, flinch-inducing car crashes when you get too greedy. And as you take to the streets, no two races will unfold the same way. Computer drivers and bystanders often make human-like mistakes, resulting in unpredictable multi-car pileups that you'll have to watch for and avoid. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I had this much fun with a racing game. Number 4. Burnout Legends on the PlayStation Portable. The thing that really impresses me about Legends is the way the developers managed to translate the breakneck pace of Burnout 3 to a handheld. Sure, it's a little bit slower than its PlayStation 2 counterparts, but I still felt that ridiculous sense of speed. Even more impressive is the fact that the controls are as tight as anyone could hope for. The only real disappointment is the event-type pursuit, which is a bit of a snooze compared to the immediate, visceral thrill of taking the opponents down. Chasing and slowly tearing apart your opponent is a bit too slow for my taste. Beyond that, it's a top-notch handheld translation and one of my favorite PSP games ever. Number 3. Burnout Revenge on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Burnout Revenge is hard to rate. On almost every level, it's superior to Burnout 3, yet it lacks the impact of that game, which had so many pieces come together to create arguably the best arcade racing experience ever. But Revenge's beauty is bounteous. The addition of track opening shortcuts, an intuitive rating system, and the ability to hit same-way traffic are significant and integrated flawlessly. I do have a list of tiny complaints. I'd still like to see fewer load screens and some sort of map or indication a track is nearing the end. But the fact is, I relished every minute of this game. Number 2. Burnout Paradise on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. As someone who closely followed Criterion's racing series for the last 7 years, it warms my heart to see it evolve into something as innovative, satisfying, and polished as Paradise. The series' core driving gameplay remains mercifully unadulterated here. But while the most recent franchise offers, Revenge and Dominator, felt like plain it safe rehashes, Paradise brilliantly reimagines Burnout as a go-anywhere, do-anything open-world adventure in the vein of Grand Theft Auto. Devilishly aggressive AI transforms point-to-point races into epic, high-speed battles, while stunt runs demand familiarity with Paradise City's crazy trick playgrounds. Yet, it's a shame that the game's best events, the takedown-centric road rage and everyone's out to get you marked man, aren't available in the otherwise sensational online mode. And finally, in number 1, Burnout 3 Takedown on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Forget about tuning and tweaking in Takedown. The tenacity to ram your rivals and a sixth sense for finding a safe route through the snarled mass of sparking steel and smoking rubber are all that matters now that the contact motorsport is as mind-blowing as the second Matrix movie's freeway free-for-all. This is by far the best Burnout yet, and simulators aside, it's the rawest, most rewarding racer your butt can buy. While the Pimple Pop Rock soundtrack shoves shoddy tunes on you instead of letting you hand-pick your songs off the hard drive, the courses are sensational, the speed is staggering, and the smashes spectacular. Hey, thanks for watching me counting down these classic Burnout games. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new episodes almost every week. We've already covered Ridge Racer, Gran Turismo, Mario, Sonic, Twisted Metal, Street Fighter, Tekken, and dozens more. Now, here's the question I have for you. What's your favorite Burnout game? I can't believe it's been 15 years since we've had a new one of these. And no, I'm not counting those Need for Speed games made by Criterion. I want the real Burnout back. Or at the very least, I want remasters of the old ones on consoles. That's literally the least they could do at this point. Anyway, let me see your picks in the comments below. In other news, we have a full week ahead of us. But I spent so much time talking about Burnout that we're out of time. Sorry. I still recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. It's just good manners. Until then.